All right, bang, bang. Welcome to the Dave Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company, presented by TradeZero.
TradeZero, all your trading needs, support them. They're supporting us. Any advertiser you hear now after all the shit that's going down, they got my gratitude, everything about it. If you want to buy pen stock, I think it's low. It crashed the last couple days for a variety of reasons. So I think now is a great time to buy it. I am not a financial advisor, but I did buy, I said on DDTG today with TradeZero, 26,000 shares. So like 1.5 million. I just think it's too low. That's just me. You do you. I can't guarantee anything. Goes zero. Don't blame me, but I love it. I put my money where my mouth is. I sold Amazon, bought Penn, TradeZero.us/Dave. Don't just trade TradeZero. Just told you it's the broker I use. Our fifth and final winner for the $5,000 is Brian Lang. Thanks to everybody who entered. You need an initial account minimum $2,500. Brian Lang, you just got $5K. Don't just trade TradeZero. They've stuck by me, so you stick by them.
Okay, so probably been a crazy 5 days.
When did this start? Friday?
Well,
Thursday. I was getting ready to do something. Oh, yeah, Patty the Batty. Patty the Batty walked in maybe 3 minutes. No, yeah, it was Thursday. 3 minutes after the hit piece dropped. But, yeah, since then, again, we've talked about it. We have that part that we didn't put in the last episode because we didn't know what was happening at that point. But I've known this has been coming for months and months.
Yeah, we've talked about this on this show, probably dating back to April, I would say.
For a long time.
Yeah, like we were at Greek Town and all that
April
kind of
is when I posted, I think, the Julia Black, her tweet. Hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. Let maybe people don't like me, like reach out and go to contact her. But April is when I started really catching wind that this woman was digging around my life.
Mm-hmm. So then Tuesday we record our show. We probably did like 20 minutes or so about like what you thought was coming. We decided not to air it. Let's see what they air. Let's not, throw stuff out there that might not be in there. We wait for Thursday, and I know you've talked a lot about it in the past 5 days over this weekend, but a lot of stuff gets lost in the shuffle. So I kind of want to look at this as like a comprehensive, like all pieces together.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's start there. It starts on Tuesday. When did you find out? Like, what did exactly they give you? Was it a 24 hours thing? Because Tuesdays...
so they sent you 24 hours, and here's like some of the things that are going to be put into the article. You have so they researched 8 months, and it's like you can now speak now or forever hold your peace. I hadn't spoken to the reporter at all. Nobody on Barstool's side. We saw it. There was a lot of information. A lawyer's like, we need more time to look at this, and they're like, okay, you have till Thursday, basically. Is that when earnings were? Yeah, November, whatever it was. I think they were always going to drop it on that day. But that's what they said. And looking at it, going over it, there was so from our lawyer, it's like the only reason to respond to these people would have been if we thought we could prove enough to get the thing killed, which was never going to happen. They were very crafty in how they did it. So there was no point in going back and having our quotes. This was a hit piece, and I have enough experience with that. There's nothing that you could ever say to Julia Black or Business Insider that would be framed in a positive light. The only reason, she reached out to somebody like Elio and positive people, is to create the illusion of some sort of like fairness, like, oh, look, there's a positive article in there from Elio or his friend. But this is just, it was always going to be a hit piece. They knew what they're going to write before they sat down. Why they decided on this, I don't know. And it was a witch hunt, really. That's really what it was.
So you said you sat down that Thursday. It was 11 o'clock, and you read it in here. And then what was your move right after that? Did you have that video ready? Like, how was?
Well, yeah. So I had it ready. I had No, I actually made a different one. Here's crazy. I made a different one, and I talked to lawyers, and the lawyers were like, "Do not." I knew who the two girls were. They say there's 3 allegations. To me, there's 2. One is just made up. You can't. One's just like one girl said Dave had like rough sex with her and choked her, and that's like the whole. They're counting that as a girl. Bullshit. That's made up. You can't just do that. Like you could come up with that by watching my sex tape. Like what the fuck? So there's 2 girls with details. I know both who they are, and my lawyers originally were like, "Don't act like you know who they are." Like, that's safer. Just be like, how can you defend yourself against anonymous accusations? So I made one the night before the video. Did not like it. And it wasn't, I slept on it. It's like, this is not me at all. I know exactly who they fucking are. It was a 4-minute video, and I just changed it all. I just put the camera, and I went for 11 minutes just telling the truth about how I perceived everything. And it's like, I felt way better about it because outside of saying exactly who these girls were, it was just 11 minutes, exactly what happened in my mind.
Did they know you changed it? Did you have to show them, both of them, beforehand?
I got to the point that I didn't trust anybody but myself. I trust people in this Barstool world. Erica implicitly, I think, has my best interest in mind. But we're dealing with big companies, like whether it's Churn, Penny, and everyone's going to kind of watch their ass a little bit. By the time that morning, I remember being on a call, and I actually don't care about saying too much anymore. Like, I'll just say the truth. Like, I know, like, the churning guys were like, have the churning lawyers looked at this, that? I was like, no. They're like, are you going to let them? I was like, no. It's like, this is me. You guys do what you're going to do. This is my character that's been assassinated. I'm going to respond how I think is best. And that's kind of, since then, that's how I've been going.
Now, I mean, was that a tough decision? Because, I mean, I know that you're a smart guy, that you know that usually in these situations you're not supposed to do that.
I feel like this situation, I'm in a very rarefied air where there's truly nothing I did wrong. Like, I know I'm 100% telling the truth. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of lawyers are so scarred by, like, clients or companies of people who aren't telling the truth. And I get their perspective. I said this on the call. I'm like, the only person who dead ass knows they're telling the truth is me. I was in the rooms and I know my history. So when I say nothing else can ever come forward that will be like proven for me being like a deviant, I know that's a fact because I've been in every room I've ever been in. Now, can I stop if someone wants to do a he said, she said like this? I can't. Nobody can stop that. But I promise there'll never be any smoking gun, this, that. Oh my God, Dave. There won't, because I've never done anything. But I can see how a Churnin or a Penn, it's like, you're just going to take my word for it? Like, I think they do trust me. But what if they say, we trust Dave 100%, and then something else comes down? They look like idiots. So I do get that side. But I got to do me. Like, this is my character. These are like wild accusations that are being thrown around, while at the same time, no accusations. But it's like, I was going to defend myself how I was comfortable defending myself.
Indirectly, though, don't you think maybe there's a factor that you kind of made it bigger than it could have been?
The story?
Yes.
No. Not really. Like, and weirdly, this quickly shifted to a business issue, keeping advertisers. Not like me, am I like losing sleep like, Dave, you're going to jail? Or no, because I didn't fucking do anything. So I'm not worried about that. Am I worried a tiny bit that you can be framed and shit like that, as paranoid as it sounds? Yeah, I am. It's that, because the fact this even made it to print is disgusting. But it to me, it's like, how do you, like what Business Insider was doing, sending this article that's just so salacious and misleading basically to advertisers. They're trying to get them to cancel. They're playing this game. And to me, it really is like, wait a minute. We got to let them show there's no truth to it, and we have a bigger audience. So, no. It also, we've been through so many hit pieces. This one's elevated because of the nature of the sexual allegations and things like that. But even my dad, we always come out stronger. There is an element of our crowd who likes the fact that we don't roll over, just try to hide, let it go away, that we're right out front and fucking own everything we do, for better, worse, whatever. Our crowd will be more supportive of us as a whole when this thing is done than before it started.
What was the avalanche like, though? So, I mean, people are just going to read that headline. I was literally screaming in pain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
that's made up. That is 100% made up.
And they don't really say which one that was from either.
No, that's from
the first one.
No, I don't. Which one do we call?
First one was Madison.
That's from Madison.
College student.
That's a recalled from Madison. Total lie. And I was getting ready to. I haven't even said this, so this is breaking. I was getting ready to tweet it this morning.
Yeah.
But my Twitter got shut down The girl Madison, so there's really 2 allegations. We'll say Madison. In the article, they didn't say her name because fear of Stooley's going crazy, retribution. Madison has been active, and I mean active, on social media, hundreds of thousands of views, identifying herself as the girl in the story. Really? There's no win for me in identifying either girl because our people go after him, and there's Dave bullying a girl. But she has literally identified herself, and people in the comments are like, Dave didn't do this. She is also in the comments of her own stuff being like, well, I can probably read it, right? But I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Well, what is she saying? Is she backing off it? Is she standing by what
she
she says?
duetted my response video and just made faces. Just didn't say anything.
Really?
And then in the comments, people are saying things, and let me I'll pull it up.
Right. Duetted it. That's the TikTok thing where you're in the corner.
Yeah, so she's next to it. Hold on. I'm just pulling it up because I saved it. It's and she's putting it up, taking it down, putting it up, taking it down, putting it up, taking it down. Strange ass behavior. And all right, and then when people he would never do things, she's tweeted, and I'll read, I'm showing Eddie right now. The article never said the sex wasn't consensual. She's saying stuff like this.
Oh.
She has that. She has. So basically, when people are he'd never do that, she wrote that. Nobody said he was a rapist. She's writing that. Madison is saying that herself.
So she's almost defending you here?
Weirdly, but not.
Yes.
She's saying she hates me, and I don't like her, to be totally honest. We didn't get along. She came. We did hook up. She's saying that I did see the text she sent her friend 2 days later. The sex wasn't that rough or crazy. I don't know. At least my memory of it. It certainly, I know for 100% fact, there was nothing weird after it was over. We were totally fine. Nobody's like, what was that? It was normal. We got in an argument after that when we were getting to know each other even more, and we just had different views on life, totally. We just didn't like each other. And then the other thing she says is that and by the way, in those things she's putting on her TikToks, she tags her Instagram and puts hashtags of all the viral things. She's trying to get people to follow her on Instagram. The sex I had with that girl was not a rape fantasy. It was normal sex. There was nothing. If anyone watched that, people would be like, Dave sucks at sex, and it was boring. There was nothing unusual about it.
I think a big thing was it said he kept trying to get away, and he was
just
running.
Total bullshit. It's 100% fabricated. And I've said, if a girl told me that to stop and didn't want to run away, and you continue, that's rape. I don't care if a girl said yes and then no. When it's no, it's no. Now, if you're playing around, it's a rape fantasy, and you're getting signals that you gotta use your brain. That didn't happen here at all.
And she said it wasn't right. She said that too.
Yes.
Okay. So
she didn't say it to me. She's saying it in the comments. I just showed you what she said.
So public on social media, she's saying it.
Public on social media, I just said nobody ever said it wasn't consensual, and I never said he was a rapist. So actually, what are we even talking about?
And to me, that first one is the one that has more kind of meat to it, I guess, than the second one, because the second one I didn't really understand. It's like you said, you feel bad. It's that she felt that way afterwards, but I
don't believe that she felt that way afterwards. The second one, we're talking about this is the one where I have definitive proof. So first of all, she aggressively pursued me. Again, Kareem's helped with digging up the DMs, but she has to come over with 6 friends. I wouldn't let anyone in the world come over with 6 friends. There was not hey, we want to fuck her. It's can I come over with 6 people I haven't met? No. I said no. It's fine. That was the end of it. Then she again reaches out. She's like, I changed my mind. I want to come over. Fine. She comes over. We hook up. It's normal. I didn't kick her out after. Nothing like that. It's I stayed in touch with her after the fact, DMing. We have the proof. It's oh my God, I can't believe I'm still talking to Dave Portnoy. And yes, people, I wish sexting wasn't out there. Things that I do that I think are going to remain private out. But it's like, you can criticize my sex game, but it's like, you miss my dick. She's like, absolutely. I've been bragging about it. Mm-hmm. She sends me her cell phone number. I leave Nantucket. That's the last I heard of this girl. Like, I've never, and then I hear this story. You see, at first, it's the police report that was not in the article to begin with from Business Insider, because it's fucking ridiculous. The Nantucket police chief, it's so ridiculous, I don't even think he knows it's filed. And then Business Insider has it. Well, why didn't you put it in the article to begin with, Business Insider? Because it makes no sense. It's like Dave Portnoy has been spotted at the Nantucket fish and meat market with like a bunch of different girls. What? That's in a police report from a mother? The mother also says the girl blacked out and didn't even remember coming to my house. That's in the police report. Well, then how is she giving details of what happened at my house if she doesn't even remember it? Here's what happened, in my opinion, with this. The girl came over, had a good time. She wanted to fuck me. She fucked me. She said she was 21. She didn't say she was 21. She told me to meet her at Cisco Brewery. That's a 21-plus bar. The police reports, like, Dave runs around being like, are you 18? Are you 18? I don't do that. That's made up. But even if I did, that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm not running around. Nantucket police say I've been on Nantucket for over 10 years. They're like, there's never been a complaint about them. They're saying I have parties at my house. No, I don't. Like, I hate people at my house. It's just totally made up. It's a mother who is mad that the daughter came over and want to fuck like a rich famous guy. Fine. Like, she did it, and then what I'm guessing happened is she was ashamed, and the mother went crazy, and she made up a story and said she blacked out and didn't remember it, even though there's definitive proof that she did remember it. So they have two allegations, Eddie, that they dug through my entire life. One of them, clearly, the facts are wildly off. So you got to throw that out, I believe. The second one, which is truly a he said, she said, but the girl is on social media saying it was consensual, wasn't rape.
And this is Madison, the first.
And this is Madison. So,
okay.
I mean, what are we even talking about? To use those as the headlines is nuts.
Yeah.
And they won't address it. Like, how do you not add the DMs or like Business Insider? This was not journalism. It was an editorial for people who do not like me, period.
So if the second girl, Allison, she's quoted in the article saying basically couldn't talk the next day. She was in shock when she was picked up. When you have the DMs to prove otherwise, that wasn't the case.
Correct. She was happy.
Couldn't believe you were still talking to her. And then the first girl who was like, okay, well, this is, and in her video, you're like, this is kind of more he said, she said. I can't prove anything. Now she's on social media point blank saying it wasn't what people are insinuating.
Well, and it's a dangerous game because it's like Business Insider. I actually don't know why this girl just didn't go the full Monty and accuse me of it, to be honest. Like, she basically did. They're playing a semantic game where she's like, I was yelling, stop, and running. Well, that's rape. Like, if I keep fucking you in that's rape.
Yeah.
So I don't, but then she's like, it's not. It's that did not happen.
Yeah.
And they play a game like nothing's accused. No police report, nothing. Dave's a little bitch. What are you talking about? She tweeted that out. I went back and looked. She actually replied to one of my stories the next day, just with like nice, which I'm surprised she did because we really didn't like each other. And I do remember her being on the couch. That's how I knew who this was. Like, I'm a pretty agreeable person for the most part. Like, she slept on the couch, and I remember her like wanting to still kind of like hang out. And I was on the stairs and I was like, this just isn't working. Like, not everything works. We didn't know each other. This isn't working.
Mm-hmm. Why did she stay for 2 days afterwards? Is that true? Do you remember that?
Well, yeah, she flew in.
So she just didn't have a flight back?
I mean, I would have gotten out of there. Like,
yeah,
I would have done anything she wanted to do. It wasn't like we didn't get along, but it was kind of like just we were doing our own thing, as I recall. It wasn't like, fuck you. I mean, she was here. She was like having a weekend in Nantucket and just kind of chilled.
So what's stopping you from putting these receipts out and then having receipts for both and being basically
exonerated? I was getting ready to put the receipts out this morning of the second one. And then I got shut off on Twitter.
Okay.
I've been kind of watching, like, and Kareem can vouch for this. She posts it, takes it off, posts it, take it off. And honestly, even doing it, like, if people find it, who knows? She may just lie. Like, there's no way for me to win. And at my age, who I am, like, getting a he said, she said. I will say, Business Insider, this girl has posted a lot of stuff post me, like mental health, not because of me, but, like, that Business Insider should have been aware of, and I would say willfully ignored. Willfully ignored.
Like that, the article, like, kind of messed with her mental health, or she was having issues before?
Issues before.
Okay. And that changes exactly just because, how would they?
I think they kind of exploited her. Like, I think they exploited. I think there's real, if you look at the full volume here of things she's put online, post me, before article, her credibility would be greatly called into question. There's no way. Like, she went super viral for something. Super viral. I can't say what it is because it would identify her right away. But I would say, most people say that, it would raise an eyebrow, be like, wait a minute, this is who they're quoting?
Super viral in the sense that, like, other people have seen it? Like
The world has seen it.
Okay. But, like, did it come across his desk?
The world has seen it.
Okay. And then as far as, but at the end of the day, though, the headline's a headline, and that's the damage is kind of done, right?
Correct. Well, the damage is done for the people who don't like us, and it's advertiser control. Like, people get scared easy. That's the world. That when people say cancel culture, this is what cancel culture is, and it's not left, right, it's nothing. It's like you write something that's garbage, and they knew it was garbage, and then you attack the advertisers, and the advertisers are how you cancel people.
Because, I didn't really see there to be much besides that. Like,
no, there wasn't.
The rest of the only other things I have here of note was that there was 8 current or former employees that.
Who? Yeah, right. And that article's coming. That's a different article, I believe, from New York Magazine, which is, I don't know how they're connected to Business Insider, but they always retweet each other and shit.
Okay.
So this guy Reeves, private investigator guy who was tailing me for a while, that article's still coming. It could drop any moment. That, to me, this was in conjunction. This was like a parallel attack. This could drop at any moment. I think it's going to be more Black Brandon and Mooj and maybe Sophia with an F, and who knows, people who fucking hate me or us.
So this is more likely like a toxic workplace
environment
kind of thing?
I don't think is going to get much traction. It's like going to be pretty obvious what it is.
Yeah, that guy was kind of hanging around for a while, huh?
Yeah, you weirdo. Like, we're almost answering our own question here. The only thing that can move the needle that they haven't done, to me, is these sex crimes. Everything else people have heard, like, yawn. Yeah. You put that salacious headline, which they did, forget about it.
Yeah, and there was that. So you say that's coming. I think a lot of people's, I don't want to say ears perked up, but the obligated to stay for 5 years and you plan to leave afterwards.
What's that?
That you were obligated to stay for 5 more years?
Yeah, I talked to Penn about that. I have no idea what that's from.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that's from. I've never said anything in private about any of that, so I have no idea. Everything I've said has been public. Fucking no clue.
Yeah, it wasn't said in the meeting that we had when you announced to us that we were bought. I know that, and I assume that's what I thought they were referring to.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is in regards to. I think everyone knows it's a 5-year contract, but like my entire net worth is Penn. So. And
then Ava Louise, what is exactly that? I didn't really understand.
This honestly should be the number one reason why you rip this article up and throw it. I haven't even mentioned it yet. She actually DM'd me after the fact too, being like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Ava Louise is a clown. Ava Louise is a fucking clown. I DM'd with her maybe 4 or 5 times in 2017. No clue how old she is. Didn't hook up with her. I didn't meet up with her. Like, talked to her for a second. She was an attractive girl. I looked at the DMs. It's like, hey, I forget how it started, something, but it was like, if you're in New York City, we should meet up at a bar. She's like, yeah, definitely. Next time you go out in New York City, meet up. Pretty sure that's legal. Never did. Just never. Stopped trying to. Never did. This is 2017. Ava Louise has been on Dr. Phil, literally being like, I'll do anything to stay in the media. Like, I hate everybody. I will use every tactic I have to be like, can you pull up the Ava Louise like video from Dr. Phil. And then recently, we're going to have her on this podcast, on BFFs not too long ago.
Wait,
because she lied about...
Lana and Mike? Is that the
same girl?
Okay,
that's not what we're going to have her.
Jeffree Star and Kanye West.
She's lied about everything on the internet.
Oh, okay.
She's like world-renowned crazy girl on the internet, and she's a source. Like, watch this interview with Dr. Phil. It's actually stunning that she was quoted in this. Somebody I hadn't talked to until 2017.
She's the final source, actually.
Do you know how deep in the trash can you have to reach to have this be one? You interviewed everybody in my life. Everybody. And she's your star witness? The only one who will put her name on anything?
So you lied to people.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the media is doing, I think, with this entire virus. Obviously, it was a social experiment more than anything else. Like, obviously, I wanted the clout off of it. And I was, like, really annoyed that Corona was getting more publicity than me because I currently have, like, a song going viral right now and no one was covering it. So I decided to hop on the Corona wave. But, yeah, I just did lie to people. Yeah, I did. And it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Like, it's funny because I created the fake news myself.
She also went viral recently. She licked a toilet bowl to prove she wasn't afraid of COVID.
So what did she say to you?
I read one of. She's like, I hope you realize, like, 19-year-olds aren't like fully mature humans or something. I literally wrote back. Yeah, that's what I wrote back there. Are you the girl from the Dr. Phil video? Like, that was a wise ass answer, and I didn't read anything else. I didn't even read it. I literally didn't even read it.
Okay. All right. I did not know that was this girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a notorious, like, clout chaser online. Like, just make shit up to, like, Jeffree Star. Just
okay. All right. I guess so. All right then.
And the last time I talked to her was 2017. Never met her. Never attempted to meet her. Like, talked to her before it was known kind of her ilk. Like, again, didn't even nothing age. It's like, hey, she's like, I go to Rutgers. It's like, well, if you're ever out in the city, we should meet up. So, do you get a hunch then when you tweeted back in April, giving people the ideas to reach out, to get a hunch that maybe she's one of the people that reached out to kind of get herself in there? Maybe, maybe. Or maybe you just reach out when you have nothing. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, she probably would be one who would reach out, be like, hey, I can get my news and my name in the headlines again. I mean, that's all she does. There's this story of Mike saying she's like a crazy person, needs professional help. Mike made it. Like, she stalked him in, like, L.A., according to this story. Whatever. I didn't even mention it because it's so outrageous. Yeah, I was like, because I looked at that at the end, and nobody's really mentioned it at all, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, I literally never met the girl. It's like we never met. Yeah. Huh. That's a weird one then, I guess. Weird? I think. Well, it would have. Because really, they have nothing. So they were just trying to add whatever they whatever they could, you think? Let's talk about Felix Gray for a second, Dave. Great glasses. I wear. I don't know if this is good or bad. I'm addicted to them. I can't take them off. I need them to sleep because I look at screens so much. Felix Gray lenses filter 15% more than blue light, and I love the way they look. You know that because I wore them on like Tucker last night because I think I look. It's like, oh, this guy means business. He's wearing glasses. So I wore them. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. I have the Robles, I believe. The Robles. So Felix Gray. Oh, another pair. .com/ No, I'm wearing them. Oh, you are? Yeah. Oh, okay. There's just another pair, but I'm wearing them. Just different color, but yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, come on. I wear them all the time. So Felix Gray. FelixGray.com/Dave. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. Free shipping, returns, exchanges. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. And again, this is support our sponsors day, and Business Insider probably reach out, be like, how dare you? It's like, well, you got fucking no facts to anything that you've said. So now let's go through the names. We reached out to 5 people to come on the show. Some didn't answer, 1 declined for a multitude of people. So obviously you have the writer Julia Black. Was there any communication from them? I mean, she reached out in the very beginning of this story. And it's like, we're writing a glowing article about you. It's like, do you want to be interviewed? It's like, your rise is fascinating. I don't know why. I knew it was bullshit. Probably I Googled or something. It's like, oh, this, what, she think I'm an idiot? And that's the last I heard of her, right up till like, hey, we're about to eviscerate you. No, I haven't heard. I mean, she wiped her entire Twitter history, social media history, right before she published the article, because everyone's like, why don't you sue? Why don't you sue? Anyone who's vaguely familiar with the laws of the United States know that they make it virtually impossible for somebody in my shoes to sue anybody. It's almost impossible. You have to find like constitutional malice and all this shit. And not only that, if you lose, you have to pay the other firm's fees. So like if I sued them, they lock it in, they go get the most expensive lawyers in the world, they run up a gigantic tab, and then I pay everything. It's almost impossible. Every lawyer I've spoken with is like, do it at your own peril. You can do it in Europe. You can't do it here. The burden of proof switches in Europe, but that's probably why she deleted all her tweets, because, you know, she has anti-Trump stuff. She was going after Spags when he did the Rihanna. So anything that can prove she had some sort of like pre-existing bias, that's why she did that. That's why she erased all of it. To me, honestly, I kind of feel like she's a patsy. I mean, it was a horribly written article, horribly researched. It's the people above her, I think, who should more be held feet to the fire. She's just a patsy.
So, I mean, so then you go to the founder and the CEO, Henry Blodgett, who has been banned from the Board of Trade.
Well, he's a crook. Mm-hmm. I mean, no, he's banned for life from the SEC for fraud. He was basically privately saying stocks were shitty, publicly telling his clients they were great, stealing people's money, hard-earned money, normal people, an absolute crook. An absolute crook. Like, imagine if this guy stole your life savings and shit like that. You see him like a millionaire now. Oof, disgusting human. Just a disgusting human.
Do you have any relationship with him? Is anybody close to you? Did they reach out?
Nobody's reached out. I've heard he's acquaintances with Steve Cohen.
Okay. And, I mean, that's honestly, I was going to get to it at some point since you said it. I mean, at what point do you truly believe that it was someone like that?
I have no idea. There's so much. I feel like I'm in a movie. I don't know what to believe. And there's a lot of people who don't like me. I don't know what to believe. I've heard time and time again that, like, the GameStop shit, and when I went after Cohen and Vlad and Ken Griffin and Sidell, like, they were going to get me. The show Billions is based on Steve Cohen. Mm-hmm. That's not disputed. Now, it could be just myth. I have no fucking clue. But from what you hear, it's like he's capable of anything and he's a vindictive guy. I have no fucking clue. I've never met him. I did chase him off Twitter, so I could see this. Everything's weird. Like the timing of when the article dropped, which was on Penn's earnings, the fact there was wild shorting of the stock the day before. And this wasn't me who, like, neutral, because I've been doing DDTG, neutral, like, stock, like, handles and websites were like, this is fucking crazy what happened. And our earnings missed, so you could kind of cloud it with that. But if you look at all the other gambling companies, we were right in line, if not better, and their stock didn't crash like that. We got fucking obliterated, and people bet against it in a very, very strange, unusual manner the day before, like they knew the piece was going to drop. So could you see a scenario where this is from GameStop, they're going to fuck this guy. He thinks his shit don't stink. Blodgett, who is a convicted SEC fraud, somehow is in on it. And they just throw this patsy, Julia Black. Hey, you want to write this article? Go nuts. Unlimited. But, I mean, honestly, who continues along with an article for 8 months when you're finding nothing? And this thing she just stumbled across, like, the Business Insider company line is, this is supposed to be about Dave and stocks and positive, and we stumbled across stories of him being like weird or aggressive in bed. One of the accusers is from Detroit, and the other one's Nantucket. Like, what do you mean you stumbled? That's bullshit. You knew what you were gonna write, and you knew it was out there because there's sex tapes. Like, there's me, and which I'm the victim of, but which is also why you can't sue. It's like, oh, what are you suing? That you've exposed Dave had rough sex? And it's like, well, we know that. I asked, well, what about the police report to sue? It clearly says that, you know, the girl didn't remember. How are they doing that? Well, it's the mother who said it, and it's not Business Insider's responsibility to like fact check them. So there's all this shit that makes it impossible. The only person I've been told I could sue in the United States is the mother of the girl from Nantucket who lied to the police for filing a police report and is spreading gossip about me around the island. That's not true. But even that, she could be like, well, she said she didn't remember, then she remembered. It's fucking impossible.
So, I mean, it's your gut. Obviously, you go off your gut a lot. Does your gut tell you that DDTG was like a big analyst in this? It
Yes.
does. It does.
Yes.
So you think this is a higher level thing this time
Yes.
around?
Yeah, I think Blodgett's involved. I think someone told him to do this. And his finance background, who he's connected with, it's perfect. And then he just hands off, and they have the perfect willing people who fucking hate me. Like the article is from the same group, the Deadspin, for lack of better words, crew. But there was something far more sinister at play here. Yes, I do believe that. Can I ever prove it? No. I'd love to know, like, on my dying, like, weirdly, it's part of me would tip my cap, be like, oh, fucking Cohen, you're the real deal, man. Like, you really fucking did it. And it's a little scary because you don't know, are they like, okay, we're just going to keep fucking with them?
Yeah. Is that the main concern right here now, that there's going to be more stuff and more stuff?
What if they planted shit? Like, I know I sound like a paranoid, like, weirdo.
Yeah.
But this is crazy enough in itself to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think my big takeaway too with your video was you kept saying I'm scared. So are you like still scared?
I'm not scared of like I'm not scared. There'll be nothing I've ever done that'll come forward that'll be anything, because I haven't done anything. I've had so many girls reach out and be like, we'll go on the record, like, of our experience with you, how you are, enough where I think people will be like, how can all these girls be telling a pretty similar story of how Dave acts? And then you have this outlier that is all riddled with inaccuracies. But you never know what people are capable of. Like, there's a lot of different ways to fuck with people. So it is scary a little bit.
Like, I mean, the narrative can be stolen somehow too, right? I mean,
What?
if they just keep pushing more and more, like at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did everything they have. And obviously, I mean, you look, Julia Black, her main things, like, if you have stories about Dave Portnoy, contact us. It's like 8 months wasn't enough.
Yeah.
You've already tried everybody.
And what's up? So Patrick Coffey, he's the ad guy, so he's calling advertisers?
Yeah, so Patrick Coffey, the ad guy, very Business Insider and scumbag move. They write the article, and then they're going to write more articles. And those articles are going to be, hey, Dave's the rapist. Here are the advertisers that are sticking with him, and here's who not. So it's a scare tactic. It's bullshit. And their proof is this article that's full of shit.
And that's what our advertisers have reached out to us and be like, hey, we're getting, what is this about?
Yep. And some, like, anybody who's spent a second researching this, paying attention to this, has had our back. So.
Have any advertisers backed out?
There are a couple. Eric is sending me a list, and I haven't decided how I'm going to. Like, I don't mind people not advertising with us because we're not performing, whatever. To back out because of this, it won't be that easy for those advertisers.
Okay. So you're going to make a statement about them,
Yeah,
or you're going to do something? Okay.
Because this is the only way this works to get away with this.
And Nick Carlson, he's the global editor-in-chief, and he doxed you.
He did. He didn't mean to, but that's the thing. If I did that to somebody, off with his head.
Yeah.
He put the police report. He forgot to cover up my house's address. And again, the only reason he provided the police report is NBC News said it didn't exist. They did not put the police report in the original article because it was so ridiculous, and it contradicts everything one of the alleged victims said. Not a victim. Girl loved my dick. That's just a fact. She said it, not me.
And then obviously other notes here that were going around that was a big part of the story was they offered a huge discount on yearly premium subscriptions.
Yeah, scumbag move. This was not journalism. This is an editorial, like, scumbag money-making venture.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just trying to get everything in one place, and we'll have the slides to hopefully go in the video version. Same thing with Tim Dillon. He said an author quit because they wanted him to do a hit piece on them, and the guys was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Also, I should say, so I spoke with a couple people in LA, like lawyer, investigator, because it's like, all right, I got to protect myself and be on the offensive. I spoke with this group for about a day, and powerful, like highly recommended, on top of their shit. And the next day, I'm like, you know what? This isn't for me. The advice they were giving me and things they were telling me to do or whatnot felt like they were talking to me like I was a guilty person. That's the only peace of mind I have in this. There are no skeletons. For better or for worse, I've been very public. Like, my weirdest sexual moment literally is on the internet. That I don't do that with every girl. That was like her and I, and almost should be example one, because thankfully Sydney was like, this is like what I wanted, like consensual. We're on the same page, but like it's out there. That's not, I don't do that. People act like every time I have sex is like that. No, fucking, we talked about it, and we were like, all right, let's give it a whirl. But that's not the norm. That's my most like private moment is out there.
Mm-hmm. And then I know in the summer of 2020, you've talked about how not a lot of people had your back when there was that whole fiasco.
Yeah, people went the other way too. Here, I think mostly everybody knows, and they, like, I won't expect anyone to be here if they didn't trust me in this regard. And everyone's, oh, we trust Dave. I did appreciate it. I didn't need it. I was much more upset the first time around because the complaints were coming from within these walls. Okay. Like, it was Mooj and Black Brandon, who had been here for a combined 4 seconds, were talking out of their ass. So that was like the people who know me and been here, and I said a combined 7 words to those two dudes. Like, can someone be like, these guys fucking have been here for 7 seconds, and 6 of them were during COVID when the office wasn't open. That's why I was mad about that. They were like being quoted like they represented the company when they did not.
And then this guy said that employees are on edge. According to a person inside the company, everyone's kind of on eggshells.
Zachary Patrizio. He is the one who reported me for coughing.
I think he's my favorite reporter at the moment. I gotta say.
Yeah, no, he
do you think he actually has a person inside of the company? Because he keeps tweeting saying he has like an inside source.
No, I don't. You?
I do, yeah, but that's not.
Who do you
based
think
off
the source is?
I don't have any factual basis to back it up. I just don't.
Do you have a guess who the source is?
No.
Do you?
No. I just think that someone is actually.
Let me put it this way: anybody who would be a source is not nearly close enough to me that the source matters.
Right. I think that too. It could be anybody.
So
I mean, there's a whole second floor of people I don't know who they are. There could be one person maybe on the first floor, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even think it's him. Because it's so obvious it would be him. Yeah, I don't think so either.
So it was a little different. You didn't really care for the support this time around.
No, I mean, it was nice, but it was all the same at a point. So
what about the people who said that it looked like it was doctored? Like, we told people to. Cause
yeah, I mean, I would think that too based on how it rolled out.
Yeah, I mean, could we read your email? Because I think that was like the most sincere
shot. Of course you can.
I think we've ever gotten from you. So, hold on. Can you pull it up, Kareem?
All right. So this was right after it came out?
Right after, yes.
So, hey, everybody. As I'm sure most of you know by now, Business Insider published a major hit piece about myself and Barstool. It goes beyond the normal things people complain about with me and basically calls me a sexual deviant. The article includes 2 anonymous graphic allegations. First of all, I'll make it clear I've never, ever engaged in any non-consensual activities in my life. I'm pretty much an open book with everything. I categorically deny any allegations that any girl I've ever been with has been forced, coerced, or uncomfortable with me. The reporter spent 8 months digging into every aspect of my personal life. Hopefully, most of you know my character enough to know that by now. Regardless, I truly feel bad that people will possibly judge you as a result of this. There's still a place people should be proud to work at. It sucks this article make that more difficult, and for that, I'm truly sorry. I am. It's like, as much as we have tons of super talented people here who have all like carved their own path and are very well known and in the spotlight in their own right, a lot of people think Barstool me. It's not fair. We're the only company really that has that. Like PFT commenter, not that this was for him, but he couldn't be more different in how he views the world and is big. Like, what I do shouldn't affect him or Dan or like nobody. Like Kevin, not to do it, but when he had his like private shit, that shouldn't affect how people view anybody around. It shouldn't affect the women in here. It shouldn't any of it. And like I know Erica, it made her life, oh, like this is, you keep saying you're for women, then you have this. It sucks. Even though there's no truth to it, it sucks.
Did you have any personal backlash, like someone that you saw or someone reached out to you and was like a little...
People I know?
Yeah, like a
nope.
little... No?
Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I had so many girls from my past. I don't want to so many like I'm fucking Will Chamberlain, but lots of girls that I've reached out from my past being like, sign me up. Like, what do I have? This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. What about, did you speak to Renee beforehand? Did you know she was going to tweet?
I didn't know she was going to tweet. I did speak with her beforehand.
Okay.
Gave her a heads up.
Her thoughts?
She's kind of like me, mad. Mad, sad, like at first like I'm going to puke, and then like mad. Like big mad. Like what the fuck? And you hear it, and then you read it, and it's like, what the fuck? Like there, anybody who's looking at it objectively is like, there's nothing fucking here.
Yeah. Do you think there's a possibility here that you may have had sex with someone's like a powerful person's daughter? Maybe maybe there's that in the fold.
No,
nothing like that.
No,
because that's like one of the only other things I could think of.
No,
that would be.
I mean, what the timing would make no sense. These girls were like pretty far in the past. Like I'm dating Silvana. I'm not like doing anything. I mean, the one thing that has been at like everyone's looking at us. How do we cover our ass? Like, can we get Dave to say we want to have sex with like a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old or whatever? And I have no intention to it. People are making it sound like I'm running around. Like, go through my DMs and Kareem's in there sometimes. Like I get pursued just like any person who's sort of well known, like aggressively. I try to be careful. Like this girl hit me up a bunch. Nantucket's kind of a different spot. There's not a lot going on. There's not like things. The girl kept hitting me up. It's like, all right, she was attractive. Like you can come over. She was acting like she was 21 plus. Not that would have mattered necessarily, but I'm not. There's not this laundry list that people are making it seem like there is. But it's like, so I was asked, like, will you guarantee that? Like, for PR purpose. I'm like, fuck no. Like, I have no intention. I'm not trying to go out and fuck some 20-year-old. I'm not. Like, I'm dating. I have no intention of fucking anybody else. But I haven't done anything here. Like, I haven't. Like, I'm not going to say I won't do something that every single other citizen of the United States can legally do. Like, I'm not going to say that.
Because that's what I think a lot of people are changing it to a little bit is, well, it's morally wrong for you to be going after these 19 or 20-year-old
Well,
girls.
I don't go after them. They go after me.
Okay.
Now, is it people are going to argue it's wrong for me to like accept? If you're going to say that, like virtually, I would conservatively guess 75 to 80%. People are like, no way, yes way. 75 to 80% of well-known single people, like 45 under, are all going to jail if that's your like. I go out in Miami, it's 30s, 40s, young 20s. That's it. No one blinks. Like, no one blinks. I'm not sliding into these girls' DMs. They are aggressively sliding into my DMs. You can go to war, you can vote, but these girls can't decide who they want to sleep with. Like, and by the way, if you have a moral problem with it, that's fine. Change the laws of the country. Like, I don't. It's totally legal.
Yeah.
And also, I would call bullshit on a lot of fucking guys out there who are sitting on their fucking couches with their fucking beer get bellies and drinking when a fucking gorgeous like 20-year-old's like, hey, like I'm really into you. Can we hang out? They're like, no. Get the fuck out of here.
So it's just people don't understand how it is from your vantage point to be with. I mean, and they did kind of try to frame it that way too with what you said, how to DM a celebrity.
Yeah, well, that was a funny video.
Yeah.
But honestly, after I make that video, I had a gazillion girls just being like, I fuck. I'm not running around doing like, and what I'm doing is certainly not dissimilar from anybody else in my shoes. It isn't, and you're dreaming if you think it is.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess maybe that's I don't want to say disconnect, but I guess people would assume that there's just you are like you were probably banging a lot of girls in those couple years, right?
What do you mean?
Like there's probably hundreds?
No.
No?
No. Hundreds. No.
I would have really assumed so.
I had a girlfriend in the middle of this. Like the one I'm running around Nantucket, I had a girlfriend the summer before, the entire Nantucket. She lived with me in Nantucket.
Yeah.
And people want to like say, oh, it's too young. I was on the verge of dating a girl who was super young, 21, but like mature and like, but like we were like hanging out a lot, and the people didn't know about her either.
So what's next though? We're 5 days in, you're still kind of full blaze. Like, what are you gonna just kind of let it?
I don't know yet. Part of me is like, start letting it die. Part of me is like, they want you to let it die. Do you think they knew, like, my reaction? Like, I do believe I'm in my own world. I feel like I've won the public opinion battle. Not that there's too many neutral states. Most of them already know whether they're Dave or anti-Dave. When I say states, people. But, like, I feel like I have come across far better than Business Insider.
Yeah, I think you've had a lot of great points, and I think a lot of people, just those two things that really got me was the subscription thing, and then like the Dylan thing. It's like, this is what they're doing.
What about the facts that I provided with the girl?
Totally. We just went through that with the girl one who's posted on social media, and then this one who there was a police report and there was really nothing there, and you have DMs to prove otherwise, based on her claims of being embarrassed in the car right afterwards. But it's just, it's just a weird world where people just read the headline, and that's like...
You should go to prison for that headline. I'm not joking. That headline was designed to ruin my life. It first of all, that did not happen, but she didn't, I recall running away and being like, it hurt. That just did not fucking happen. Mm-hmm. It did not happen. To put that as the lead headline, that you should go to jail. You should honestly go to jail.
And that's where I just don't know those people in the middle. Because, yes, everyone who really follows you, everyone who's been following along is going to understand and agree with you. Everyone on the other side is never going to agree with you.
Yeah, so it's the middle. Right.
I don't really know.
But I mean, all right. Somebody doesn't know who I am or Business Insider and just looks at this. You think there's anybody who would be like, holy shit, this guy didn't get... I think everybody like, this guy got railroaded. I don't know anybody who can go with an open mind, look at everything that's happened and be like, yeah, he fucking got railroaded.
Yeah, but my thing is, I just don't think too many people dig in and actually look for all the facts.
But I'm not asking that. I'm saying an open-minded person who doesn't know me, doesn't know Business Insider, digs into it. They're like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this and declare in a judge like right, wrong. I think 100%, not 99. I think 100% would be like, he's right. They fucked him.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how you can't come to that conclusion when you look at everything. Mm-hmm. And even the fact that advertisers are sticking with us, I think shows just how horrible the article was, because you can't have worse allegations.
No.
Even though there's no allegations.
Yeah, because everything before was just like, that was literally, it was a joke. It was
well, I think that's part of it. It's like they knew. Mm-hmm. It's like, we've tried everything and we can't get this guy.
Because it was quiet for a long time.
Yeah.
It was really quiet.
And like, what sparked it? Oh, this girl who's an all-time loser, Julia Black, she's a loser. Just bumped into one of these girls? Like, what are we talking about? The lies they tell straight to your face. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just, I guess there's going to be more, right? Like, that's where you just wait for the
New York Magazine's thing's coming. Again, I think that's just going to be a workplace. So I'm not too worried about that. It can't be worse than what I've been accused of.
Yeah.
I was told by that law firm in L.A., it's like the model that Business Insider does is obviously they follow up with the hit pieces and they hold back one story. But I don't know that they've held back a story.
No.
Like one girl, they'll be like, they'll fall, because that's how you really, more girls come forward.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these people are such fucking scumbags. They'll say, they may just flat lie, or you do more hearsay, but it just builds. It's like more. It's like, well, there were none to begin with. There's been none to begin with.
There's been none to begin with, and you're obviously, you said you've never done anything. I think everyone here trusts that. Do you have receipts to prove that for most? Or I mean, you don't even know what you're going against, though. I guess that's the tough part.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the first girl existed. Like, I didn't know the one who said she missed my dick. Like, and supposedly I didn't know that. Like, that was news to me. This whole thing. Like, I was caught off guard. I didn't know the second one had any. I knew the second one I didn't like. I can't recall anyone I've hooked up with that I'm like, ooh, we don't get along.
Yeah.
And there's one other crazy girl, the girl we've talked about ad nauseum, was not somehow included in this article.
Huh. But that's because.
But I have proof on her.
You had a lot of proof of that.
Thank God I have proof on her. Well, the thing is, I've never. I don't know I don't know who would come forward, but I don't have any skeletons. So.
And now, at any point in this, are you like, I'm done. I just want to hang up the suit and just move to fucking an island? No.
I want revenge.
So you're not.
I was on a different call with a lawyer. They're like, what are you trying to get? I was like, revenge. They're like, no, but I'm like, revenge. They're like, you know what? It's refreshing just to hear somebody say that. I'm just like, revenge. Like, I'm not trying to clear my name. My name's clear. I want revenge.
Was there talk of you potentially stepping away, stepping down? None of that.
How can they do that? Like, what would happen if I stepped away?
I mean, well, they would be ready for revenge too, if someone forced you to step down. I would assume.
Listen, I would put on a smiley face and be like, everything's happy. If they're gonna pay me like a boatload of money just to gracefully step to the side, I'd do that.
Yeah.
But what was Penn stock down 10%? It was down 10 and then another 10 because of my allegations.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think would happen if I was gone?
So you feel like this kind of revitalized you then? Or just...
No, I was already going full boat.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's like, I mean, I'll let you read this text. I'll let me just show you this. I'll show you. I'll just, so you know where you're reading from. You don't have to say the name of who it is, but I'm just going to screenshot it. It's probably a good way to end it, actually. Are you done?
Yeah, just 2 more questions, really.
So, well, you can read this. When you say, am I revitalized?
I shouldn't read this? Or
No, you can read it.
Okay.
Read it. Just don't say the name that I'm talking to at the top.
Yes. Are you still in the engraved champagne bottle game? Someone says, I can always help you with that, brother. Send the name. And you said, Henry Blodgett, Julia Black, Business Insider, 3-pack. The person says, I love it. I am on it. Stay tuned. So
yeah. Make some room on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. And then really my last question was about Silvana. How is that whole situation?
Not great. I mean, she's doing the best she can with it. Nobody's designed to have to see all the, nobody would like to see their ex's dirty laundry all over the fucking place. I think she's handling it as good as you can possibly handle it, knowing that it's a fucking shitty situation. But she's defended me publicly. She knows. But, it still sucks. There's no easy way. No couple should have to, go through what we're going through. But there's not, a second of her, doubting it. She knows the crazy person. We have our own conspiracy theories that she's behind it herself. So it's not easy. It certainly can make for some tense moments between her and I. And maybe I lose sight of the fact at times how difficult it is, for her, but she's had my back from the jump.
And then needless to say, obviously you're in a relationship now, but if you were ever not to be in the future, you think you'd tighten things up a little bit?
Oh my God, please.
Okay.
Yes. 100 million zillion %. I don't even know I'd respond to a DM anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
So you'd just be completely out of that.
Yeah, I may just be celibate. Get a fuck doll or something. Again, the one.
I could see it could be scarring, bro.
The one from Nantucket with the mother. To that be a thing, I know she had it. For that to be mentioned in an article, if she can be mentioned in an article, anybody can.
Yeah.
because it wasn't. It was normal. It wasn't. She made shit up. Her mother's. It's just like people would be like, go older. Go. You think girls don't fucking lie? Like I remember back in the day. This is early. I went to a Celtics game with a girl, gorgeous, like stunning girl, and I had a friend reach out and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "That girl's 19." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like she's 24. Like I've seen the idea. I've seen it. She was pretending to be her sister. Like. People don't, all you, and I love our audience, all you losers at home who aren't rich, famous, and single have no idea the amount of pussy that is being thrown at me. They caught like one or two in like.
That's why I guess in the hundreds.
It's like, yeah, but I'm not as loose as people fucking think.
Are you though? Are you? You're not though.
Like,
see, that's where I guess. Like, listen.
No, I've gotten better and better. I'm still me in all aspects. So I'm not. I'll never take a phone. I'll never do this. Like when the girl's like, "You want a picture?" It's like I feel bad. So as corny as it is, I don't think people are like out to get me or do what they're doing now. Like I don't think that. I've gotten better. Like, do you remember that video someone posted of the like girl doing coke in my?
Yes.
Like I remember that. Sex tapes have been leaked. So clearly, but I don't realize how, this is going to sound cocky, how big I've gotten. Like I don't. Like it's, to me, I'm me. Like still kind of eating the baguette, except lost pounds. That was a funny thing I almost did. Somebody's like a caption with me with a baguette. Or like, can you believe this guy's the center of a sex scandal because he won't turn away like hot co-eds. Like it's like, what a world. But again, anybody who's remotely in my shoes would be like, bro, this is like life. And I don't think it's new life. Like I'm a well-known person. Yeah. That always has attraction to to girls. So, but I'm not responding. If people saw the amount that I didn't respond to. And the other girl I talked to for a month and a half, the Madison, like a month and a half we talked. It wasn't like bang, bang. So
it happened after. And then three things that were, the Elio comments, I had a little giggle at it. Just
that he was in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he's like, you owe me an envelope. I just got quoted. That's exactly, I use him like a patsy. It's just, hey, we interviewed everybody. Look, Elio's friend says he's trustworthy. Dave rapes girls. Like, that's how that went. And then he literally was such a baby about the Breeders' Cup. Like, every 5 minutes, oh, you left me alone. It's like, buddy, I'm accused of rape here.
Yeah, he was not happy.
I was getting extorted by him. He's like, wire me $50,000. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, do I get to make the picks? He's like, no. It's like, get out of here, dude.
No, I was texting him. He's like, would you fucking believe this? And I'm like, it's kind of serious, Elio. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I get that you're fucking.
He was yelling at me. He goes, keep your dick in your pants.
Yeah, exactly. Does this guy wants to fucking bang? I'm like, I don't know, Elio. It's kind of.
No, hand to God, in Elio's book, he was the big loser. He's the one who got wronged. He's like,
it went from Wednesday night. He's on the plane, fist pumping winners. He's in a hotel alone, being like, "What's gonna happen?"
What was that story? Did his friend stole his shampoo, his towels, his toothpaste? It's like, what are you? He is a guy who can't travel alone. But yeah, you would have thought. He was the most wrong guy in the world. He was dead serious. He's like, send me $25,000. I'm like, for what? He's like, 50. And I was like, for what? He's like, just wire it to me. You owe me. I'm like, do I get to make the picks? Well, he said no. I was like, no fucking way, dude.
He did like 8 periscopes drunk. And I was like, dude, I think you broke the records again.
Yeah, he was on one. He honestly, who had the worst weekend? Him or me in his mind? Him by 1 million. Why can't you keep your dick in your pants? That's what he's yelling at me.
The Finger King blurb was
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And then Jay Hammy.
So I knew Jay Hammy talked.
Yeah.
And by the way, if Jay Hammy, you can't get her to, like, trash me, you probably should pack up shop, because I was as mean to her as any human I've ever been in the world after she cheated. By the way, they call it an allegation. It wasn't an allegation. That was a fact. That was no allegations that Hammy cheated on me. But yeah, what'd she say? People are soft now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
she reached out after. She's like, it's bullshit. Every girl.
That was nice of Jay Hammy. She didn't have to take the high road. She could have just said.
People can say a lot of things about Jay Hammy, and I certainly have led the charge. She has never, after it kind of blew over in years past, she has always been like, yeah, I fucked you over hard. Like, I get why you did. She's never minced words about that.
Wild. She's went from center of like a gate to like, that's almost circle of trust, I feel. It's a wild turn of events.
And to be honest, most girls I hook up with, like, I stay in contact with.
Mm-hmm. All right, you seem in a lot better spirits than I thought you would. Because I had being in Chicago, I didn't really know.
I was just mad more than anything.
It felt like we were taking you to the safe house. It was like the last scene of Sopranos.
Really? Yeah. When did you feel like that vibe?
Thursday, because I didn't know. Everyone said they were here, and it was a little better moods here, from what I understand. But when you're away, you're like, oh fuck.
Well, I mean, there's always that. I'm walking down the street, like, with that vibe, like, people look like, oh, there goes that rapist. But most people in the street, to be honest, are like, fuck them, like, we got your back.
Yeah.
I wonder if I ever like hooked up with a new girl, which hopefully I don't with Silvana, but they'd just be like, oh my god, this guy's about to go bananas. He's gonna see. It's like, that's just not the case. No. That's just not the case.
No, and that's why you can laugh at that because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like it's ridiculous.
There's like none of the extracurricular objects involved in it. None of that. This was like pretty fucking normal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then really the last thing, Nate Dogg busted at the World Series of Poker day 1.
Yeah, I think Nate also, after, he's like, can you spot me next year at 10K? It's like, this fucking guy. He did wear the mask.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And that Smitty video was very funny.
It was so
Smitty. So fucking
so
Smitty.
funny.
That face he makes.
All right, that's it. Anything else to add? Or
no, it's pretty comprehensive. It sucks, and we'll see. Like, I don't think we're totally out of the woods. Obviously, know that other thing's dropping. I should probably say it's about to drop, but no, I do appreciate, not to be sappy, all our fans and readers who support us. It allows us to take the tact and me to be myself and do what we do. I've always said same way back when. If our advertising went away, and that's the only way you can. By the way, we forgot to mention the fact Murchison's in this. Should have discredited the whole thing of all time.
I'm not totally clear on exactly who he is.
Oh, he's the craziest dude who ever lived. Seriously.
Okay.
So the quick background, as I understand it, he's haunted Minahan since his days at EEI, because Minahan talked in some regard to about like transgender in sports. Murchison has a transgender child. He didn't like what Kirk said, even though I don't even think Kirk said anything that bad. I'm not quite sure. And then he's super rich and obsessed with destroying Minahan. Put him in an insane asylum. Literally ruined WEI, because every advertiser he reached out to and got them to like cancel pull, and EEI didn't have Minahan's back because they just wanted this to go away. So that's the story there, roughly. Minahan, we hire when he's done with EEI over this. It all ended on the Murchison stuff. When we hired Kirk, Murchison followed him here and added Barstool as a target. So I think he had like fucking restraining orders against this guy. He's crazy, beyond crazy. Now, he comes after me and whatever. He's obviously going to do anything he wants. There's nothing to stop him. He may have a different cat that he's dealing with right now in me. Like, I don't have time for him right now, but his time will come. Ooh. That's not a threat.
Kind of was, though.
I'm just saying, you got a different cat. You got a different cat. I got bigger fish to fry. Like, when he came here with Kirk, I said, it's like, listen, Merchants is his thing. I'm not gonna get in the mud here. Like, that's a dispute that we inherited. Now it's our dispute. It's been ours for a while. Mm-hmm. But Kirk and I had a very funny exchange. Because this all hit, Merchants is in it. World War III's happening, and I'm ready. Like, all right, Kirk, you love the mud. Give me a sword, buddy. The guy's checking into a mental institution. So I talked to him about it, and he's like, "You can tweet it," because I want him to get well. But there was somebody posted a GIF that was perfect. Tony Soprano, like when he comes out of the insane asylum, just grabbing a pillow, like getting ready. That is what I pictured Kirk. But yeah, again, Ava Louise and Murchison are sources. People who know, and like, but the thing is, Business Insider knows. Julia Black knows. Julia Black belongs in jail. I mean, she does. She's a patsy. She went from writing articles like "Can I be a feminist if I cook?" to writing investigative journalism, and she failed. And she should be in jail, but she won't. And she's a patsy. For some reason, she's not like a Tom Lee and a Wagner. Those people at this point, they're small. They don't get it's. I think there's bigger things at play here. And that's what I'm saying. Murchison's a nothing. Murchison's like, I don't have time for him right now. So, and there's nothing you can do to stop Murchison. He's made that clear. Like, there's nothing. He'll stop at nothing.
Yeah. How are you going to take him on then?
I haven't even
thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, his advantage versus Kirk is he can put Kirk in an insane asylum. You can't put me in an insane asylum. I'll put you in an insane asylum.
Well, I hope Kirk's doing better.
Yeah,
on a
definitely.
serious note. All right, Dave. 3 champagne bottles are engraved.
Yeah, and by the way, in a weird way, I think the Minifans now fully over. Fully over.
On your side?
To the Barstool side.
Yeah.
Like, there was always that. They're like the wild things.
Yeah.
And
the wildlings.
Yeah, the wildlings and fucking Game of
Thrones.
But they're finally on our side now. They are. It's like they have no king. Minahan maybe, but Minahan's missing half the time. They can't find him, and then they just go nuts. Like even Blind Mike I saw defending. The wildling, yeah. It's
It's so funny. Oh, man.
That's the perfect analogy for them.
It really is.
I'm probably not the first to say it. I vaguely, but they are. That is exactly who they are.
All right, Dave. I guess we'll
Onward and upward, hopefully.
Till
the next hit piece.
Till the next hit piece. All right, everybody. That's it for today. We'll see you next week.